This video sponsored by Meeple Movers. No minimum order, no subscriptions. Free shipping on every item, every day. At meeplemovers.com.
Hello and welcome to Brian's Got Game. I'm Brian. Today I've got a game called Drop It. Drop It is a 2 to 4 player dexterity game designed by Bernhard Lach and Uwe Rapp and published by KOSMOS. In this game, players drop colored shapes down a slot in a vertical tower in an attempt to score the most points. The player scores points depending on how high the piece sits, assuming it doesn't break any rules. You see, the pieces bounce and might not land where you planned. Players score points if they touch a special location, but they don't score points if it's touching anything that is the same shape or color. The edges also cause certain shapes or colors not to score. So let's check it out, and I'll show you how to build the vertical tower, how to score bonus points, and how to pick up a shape and drop it. As you may notice that we're not doing a top-down view right now. It's because we are going to be dropping things in, and you're going to need to be able to see the side. So to set up, place the base and then the clear piece with a hole in it. And we're going to take that and we're going to slide it onto the base. Quick and easy, halfway done. Alright, so we're going to take these pieces here and we're going to be putting these in the side. So we're going to put it on this side because it has these little, we got these little faded parts right here. And then it's not faded, it's highlighted, so when you put it in, it overlaps. So then you know that you've put it in right. So on here, we have these different shapes and it has an X on it. So that means that, actually I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but we're not going to use the shape ones, so we're going to be using these ones over here, these colors. So let's put it, these are actually kind of easier to see because they have the colors. That's another reason why we're going to do those. Then you're going to take these pieces, and these are double-sided. These ones have shapes, these have colors, and at the bottom of these, you'll notice that they have letters, if you can see. That has an F and that has an E. It might be hard to see from over there, but on these, this one has E and F, so you line up those, and then this one says G and H, and this says G and H. So we have colors, colors, and colors and colors. There we go. So we're going to be playing a 3-player game, so we're going to distribute the shapes in a second, but first we're going to take the 3 colors, and we're going to take the score track, and we're going to put that right in front of the tower, and we're going to take our guys and put it on the start. Right there. Right there. So I'm going to put those over here, actually, so you guys can see it. Okay, and then we're going to distribute the colors. So I'm going to stand up for a second. Each player gets the pieces of their color. So yellow is going to get 2 rhombuses, 2 squares, and 2 triangles, and 3 circles. And that is going to be exactly the same for each player. So we've got green, and then red. So I'm going to take these and move them all back here. So, and as you can see, the pieces are slippery, which will make it harder in here, and the pieces kind of bounce when they're hitting each other in the thing. So we're going to put red here and green just right there. You should be able to see that. And then we have some blue pieces left. So in a 3-player game, you distribute. So everybody gets a blue, and then each player will get some blue pieces. Some squares, rectangles, and rhombuses. Then the youngest player begins. So let's start with yellow. So on here, we're going to drop the pieces in. So I'm going to start. I'm going to drop this piece in, and I'm going to drop it right there. So this is my, so on your turn, you choose a shape and drop it. Then you check and see if it broke any rules. So it breaks rules if it's touching shape of another color. So if this was in there first, and it is touching it, that would be against the rules, and I wouldn't score any points. If it is touching the color on the side, that is against the rules. So if this had landed over here, that would be against the rules. If it was touching this, that would be wrong. Also, if it's touching another shape. So if that triangle had been touching another triangle, that also would have been wrong. But since I did it okay, I score 1 point. So I take my guy and move it 1 track. Now, we're going to wrap around over here to the next red player. And he made it hard over there, but we can still, let's drop our blue. We're going to drop this guy here, and we're going to drop it right there. So I hit that piece over, that's completely legal, and this blue isn't touching anything, so red also gets a point. And then green, I'm going to drop this circle, I'm going to drop it right there. Alright, so the circle moved the triangle in a way that I didn't think would happen. So now this blue circle is in this blue area. So that means I violated one of the place rules and I don't get to score any points. So green doesn't score any points. And then you continue going around. So stick square, drop in our square there. It's not touching there. Now, also there is these little circles. It might be a little hard to see, but there are different size circles. This is the smallest one here. It's if you touch a circle, then you score bonus points. So this one right here, I'll get a piece. That one there is worth 3 points. This one up here is worth 2, and this big one is worth 3. Now down here, I'm touching this one, and that one is worth 2 points. So yellow will get 1 point for having it in the 1 point zone, and plus 2 for touching the 2 circle. Now this is where it kind of gets more interesting. We can take these pieces. I'm going to get a rhombus, and I'm going to drop it right there. Alright, so I am really close to touching it, but I'm not. And I'm not touching any other rhombuses, but now I'm above the 1 point line. So as long as it's, when you score points, you take the part of it that's higher. So if just the tip was pointing over 3, I'd score 3 points. But since it's above 2, I now get 2 points for it. I'm not touching any circles, so I just get 2 points. And that was really close. Alright, now it's green. So green kind of had a hard time last time, but we're going to try to redeem ourselves. We're going to do this there. We failed again. We're touching another triangle, so now we don't score any points there. So play continues, taking your pieces and dropping them in, scoring points, touching the rhombus, no points. Continue dropping these in, moving your score track, and you keep playing until you have no tokens left. So let's kind of fast forward a little bit. Alright, so this is kind of a point in the game where red didn't choose his shapes very wisely. So he, and yellow for this instance, they both have lots of circles. So circles are kind of hard to place, and also it's extremely bad to have them at the end, because then all you'll do is touch, and that's not very good. So actually, I've got a pretty good placement here. I can get this red one there. That'll give me 5. And we'll continue going around. And once you pass this piece, you take your score marker here. This is plus 25, and I don't think you'll get this high in a 3-player game, but probably you might in a 2-player game. There's also a plus 50. So I went around once, so that's plus 25. And now we are at yellow. We're going to take this. Ooh, this is hard. We're going to take this one, put it there. That'll give me 5. That's yellow. And then we will take yellow's point and put it there. Can't do very much here. That was pretty amazing. Only I could have done that over there. No points. Alright, and then the final piece by the last player. We put it in right there. Oh! We're touching. No points. So this is the final score. We've got yellow with 34, red with 32, and green with 28. So very close, and now we have this really cool arrangement of pieces there. So after you've dropped all the pieces, the player with the most points wins. That's how to play. Drop it. Okay, I've got my dad here for parents' opinion. So Dad, what do you think of Drop It?
I really enjoyed Drop It. It was surprisingly fun. At first, when I first saw it, I thought, well, it's kind of like Connect 4, right? Maybe this is a kid's game. But it was really fun. Everybody I played it with had a blast.
Yeah. So you did say, oh, it's a kid's game. Well, we just played it with me, you, and my mom. So...
Yeah, and she doesn't play a whole lot of games, and she said, I really like this game.
And we played it again.
Yep.
So it was really fun with everybody we played it with. We actually brought it to our Brian Scott game night at Cedar Village. And we brought it, and everybody who played it again and again, and they had so much fun.
Yeah, it was constantly out on a table somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it was played from little kids all the way up.
Yeah.
So Cosmos did a good job with this one.
They did. I was watching the unboxing video for this, and I said, oh, it's like Connect 4, it's the opposite of Connect 4, and when I was reading that, I was like, wait, and then I was like, okay, yeah, so you're dropping the pieces in, so it's Connect 4 it's anti-Connect 4 without boundaries. So you're dropping it in, you're trying not to get anything to touch, and they bounce, they move. It's skill, luck, and entwined.
Yep.
So
Dexterity at its finest.
dexterity, yes. So components. They did a really good job with the components. They have the cardboard pieces are probably the cheapest piece. They're not cheap. They're nice and thick, but everything else is overdone. It's awesome. They did so good on everything else. So even the great cardboard is like the low for this, even though it's better than a lot of other games.
It is super thick, which makes me worried. If you live in an area with a high humidity or
luckily you're
moisture
not,
count in the air, it might warp a little bit. But
yeah, but everything else is wood or very good quality plastic. So you've got the wood point trackers and you've got the wood colored shapes, and those are all good. Nothing has scratched or gotten anything. And then the plastic drop tower, and then the tower base plate are very good plastic. Nothing's broken, and we've gotten things in very well. So great job with the components. Artwork, so minimal artwork. It's
shapes.
So it's the most art is probably on the board and scoreboard, which they just put little stars and numbers on a blue.
The box.
Yeah, the box. So the box is really well done. It's like a minimalist with dropping shapes, and it's great for the game. And strategy. So sometimes you want to get your piece as high as you want, or you could get it a little lower, and hit one of the circles and get +3 points, and that will make up the difference.
Yeah, those special locations, I think, is really where the game is won or lost. I've also, the last time I was playing attention to the shapes that everybody else was playing. Obviously, you can't just keep playing the same shapes because they'll be touching. But you do kind of want to wait and make sure you have unique shapes at the end of the game. That the last time when I won pretty solidly, I had 3 unique large shapes at the end, which made me get way up.
Well, I had a bunch of squares, and that didn't do me very well. You had triangles, and that did well. But so the first couple of games we played, we didn't have use for the circles. So at the very end, we all had circles, and we didn't score any points.
Bad.
So
you went all circles.
My strategy was I only played circles at the beginning and didn't score very many 1 points, and then I threw in the better ones and scored better. I didn't do as well that game. I made a bunch of bad risks, but I think I won the game before.
No, Mom did. But
I was in the lead until the last turn.
Good segue. Is it easy for kids?
It is easy for kids. It's the
rules are easy.
The rules are very easy. So the difficulty in this game comes from playing with people of your own skill level.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's one of those games where if you play with similar age range, it's going to be more competitive.
But also, there is there is some luck in it. You hit it and it slides just a little bit too far, and it touches the edge and disqualifies it. It kind of levels it out.
Yep.
So overall, this was a really fun game. We both had a lot of fun playing with it, and everybody else we know that played it had a lot of fun with this. The components are really good. The artwork is great. The strategy luck entwined, and it makes it so much fun when you play it and play it again. There's a lot of replayability, and it's easy for kids.
Yeah, there's no reading. It reinforces colors and shapes and fun.
And fun, yes. So colors, shapes, and fun.
It does say ages 8 and up,
but you could lower that.
Certainly play with younger.
We played it with Lincoln, so easy.
Yep. Overall, they did an awesome job. This actually made our Origins preview list.
Did.
We were lucky enough to play it before Origins, so go us. And we really had a lot of fun with this one, so check this one out.
Yeah, Drop It by Cosmos. Thank you for watching. Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet at Brian's Got Game. Visit our webpage, briansgotgame.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian's my dad. See you next time.